What's going on, family? Another day. We striving and thriving. Thank God, thank God, thank God. Man, I be loving it when the Spanish people birthdays and stuff or whatever when they folks be cooking the food. Man, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it be really good. Sometimes it be all right. You know what I'm saying? It just depends. And then sometimes it be the real Mexican, real Spanish people. You know what I'm saying? That real food, that I'm like, wow, everything's just delicious. Dang. Wow. You know what I'm saying? Dang, you be trying to figure out how they made it. How they made it. You know what I'm saying? It's just deep in their roots with it. Good. Nice and spicy, good. They always have the sauce to make it spicy. It's really good. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, family, I just want to ask, you know what I'm saying? Does anybody know what this is? You wake up one day, you know what I mean, and the traffic seems more flowing than usual. Uh, Things seem like it's just flipped on you, like colors just start triggering you. You know what I mean? The traffic seems like it's nonstop. It's people you never seen before just start popping up. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's kind of looking at you in a weird way. You know what I mean? As time progresses, you notice that you don't get the same services from places anymore. You notice you'll go to places and more people will come to them places. Usually, it used to not be such a busy place. Then all of a sudden, it's a busy place. What do you call that? You know what I'm saying? What do you call that when people use trigger colors, people use trigger hand gestures, and trigger indirects? You know what I mean? These people supposed to be strangers, but it seems like people know personal things, private things that you have maybe said in the private. You know what I'm saying? How do they how do they know? What is that? You know what I mean? What is it that you get these same entries and same exits? Like when you sometimes you'll leave your apartment, a person you may look and you'll see somebody exit the door just like you exit the door. When you enter. Or you might go into a place of establishment and the same person that entered with you exit with you. You know what I'm saying? What do you call that? What do you call that when you go to a new place or you move and you go to a place and suddenly somebody pulls up and they pull out with their dog and boom, you're like, okay, that's normal. People have dogs, that's normal. And then you go to another place and a person does it again, pull out his dog. Then you go to another place, then a person does it again and have his dog, the dog be in the car. You know what I'm saying? And it looks like the dog is sync with you. You know what I'm saying? Like they looking at you, synced with you. The direction that you are, the dog's head may be pointed out that direction. What do you call that? What do you call that? You know what I'm saying? When people be riding and they have their hands out, they may have their elbow out pointing at you. They may have their arm hanging out. They may have their hand hanging out. What do you call that? And it's always in your direction. Or they may have some type of, if it's a truck, they may have some type of lumber in the back or some type of thing in the back, and it seems like it's pointing towards you. You know what I'm saying? What do you call that? You know what I'm saying? If it's a monitoring, if it's just monitoring, if it's just surveillance, you know what I'm saying? Don't they have towers? Don't they have cameras? Don't they have satellite? You know what I'm saying? Can they just be incognito? You know what I'm saying? What is it that, you know what I mean, they want you to see that they're doing these things and sending a message out, it seems, right? But there's other ways they can send messages out. Why do they do it in a way that you notice it? Why do they do it in a way that you sensitize it? Why do they do that? You know what I'm saying? What's up with that? What's up with it? That when you walk into a place, people may crowd where you shop at, the aisle that you shop at. You know what I'm saying? People want you to bump into them, kind of like, what is that? Or people may bump their carts when you walking down the main hallway before you enter the aisles. People come out with their carts. You know what I'm saying? Always like making it like, where it's not a comfortable shop. It's not, you could just stroll on through, look at items. What is that? What is it like? You know what I'm saying? When you go to a place like the meat that you normally get, the vegetables that you normally get, the stuff that you normally get, there'll already be people already on standby, kind of in your way. You have to wait for them to grab, and then you grab it. What is that? You know what I'm saying? What is it when people like don't have intellectual conversations? Like, you might hear a little piece of intellectual conversation and you'll walk and they'll just stop talking. Remember, these are strangers. They just stop talking and they just start saying like just the indirects, and then they just play dumb. You know what I'm saying? What is that? What is it that people are playing dumb now? You know what I'm saying? Get you an idea like, oh, society is really dumb. You know what I'm saying? What is that? What is it that people don't like to talk intellectually no more, like to feed your brain anymore? You know what I'm saying? Why do people just do the redundant patterns, you know what I'm saying, and just talk about like a bunch of stuff that just don't matter? Everything is low vibration. Everything is it's low vibrational. What is that? You know what I'm saying? What is it even on the internet that when it's people that's supposed to be experiencing these same things, that they say they're experiencing them same things and they're tired of it and stuff like that. But then like you gotta ignore, okay, I get it. You gotta ignore the trigger colors. You gotta ignore the trigger hand gestures because it's so intertwined with society that everybody does it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does it. So you got to kind of ignore the trigger colors and the trigger hand gestures. You got to get over that. But the thing that the indicator when it comes to people on the internet, when they do the trigger words or the trigger indirects, you know what I'm saying? What is that? You know what I'm saying? I can see like some trigger words may be like everybody says, so it's like part of society. Like everybody say what's up, you know what I'm saying? Or, it's just part of society, right? So it's like you can't, you got to let that slide. But if it's trigger indirect conversations where they're kind of mentioning things where it's become common, and you know what I'm saying, and it's triggering you personally, and you're like, wow, this person's on the internet on the other side of the world, other side of the globe, and they're doing it too. You know what I'm saying? What is that? What is that? What is it that, you know what I'm saying, people like try to play like they want to be cool with you, do the introductions, and then always later on in the day they switch up and they change. You know what I'm saying? And do the indirects. It's like, why do they want to keep people around you that aggravate and annoy you? You know what I'm saying? What is that? Why is it when you finally have a genuine conversation with somebody and y'all cool, laughing, chopping it up, there's always somebody around, you know what I'm saying, or that person has to be moved, and then that person changes. If that person doesn't switch up, that person leaves the establishment and goes somewhere else. What is that? You know what I'm saying? What is it, when you're single, they keep the the women that you like away from you. You know what I'm saying? And flood you, you know what I'm saying, with dudes and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? What is that? What is it when you're in a relationship and they start flooding you with females? What is that? And then once they see that you know, just have just a regular conversation, they may think, oh, you know what I'm saying, whatever they thinking, then they send somebody to move that female out of the way. What is it? What what is that? You know what I'm saying? That's the main question. What is it that has people playing like they don't know what's going on? And when you try to question them about what is going on, they tend to gaslight you and make you try to question your own reality. You know what I'm saying? What is that? Also, what is that when you get on the internet and it's always a division going on with people sharing these same experiences? It's always people that is extreme religious. You know what I'm saying? Just say bump, anything that's it's nothing to do with the system. It's just straight spiritual. What is that? What is that when people say it's nothing spiritual? It's all that spiritual stuff is fairy tale. It's all dealing with the system. What is that? Why people can't just come to a common ground and be like it's both? You know what I'm saying? Why does it have to be a division? You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their belief, but we all share the same experiences. But why is it always so important for the community that's sharing the same experiences to cause some type of division? It's like either you got to be extreme religious or you got to be extreme, looking at everything in a worldly standpoint. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to, because some things can't be explained. Some things definitely cannot be explained. You know what I'm saying? Certain people just have to admit, like certain situations may be feeling like you on some paranormal, activity type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't no way certain people is just gonna have the patience to place things certain ways in certain areas and certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did they know that you was going to end up there and see that? You know what I'm saying? How did they know? You know what I mean? Is it just the AI aiding them, and it's just they're just doing all possible things that okay, he may possibly go this way, possibly go that way, and then we're gonna put this right here to affect him. You know, what is that? What is it that when people see that you don't want to be bothered and stuff, they'll still try to strike a conversation, and then when it is a conversation, it's like a bunch of nothing. It's low vibration. What is that? You know what I'm saying? You got to understand, like, there's people going through these experiences on a day by day basis. You know what I'm saying? It's just like we've been on the internet trying to figure out what is it that we're going through. You know what I mean? We can quickly say it's a spiritual battle, but I've been going through a spiritual battle all my life, and I haven't been going through this type of activity. I only been going through this for like several years. It's going on almost 4 years now. You know what I'm saying? Before them 4 years, things was different. You know what I'm saying? Things seemed like it was more genuine. It didn't seem like everything was kind of scripted out. It didn't seem like people just knew something about you. It's like now everywhere I go, it's just this feeling that you're this star of this unwanted show. Like you don't even want to be a part. It's like you're part of something that you don't even want to be a part of. It's like a dark web or something. Like, you know what I mean? And you're the star of this humiliating show. You know what I'm saying? And everybody feels like they better than you. Even like 4 years ago, it wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Like, it could be a ugly, busted, disgusted person, fat person. You know what I'm saying? and they'll ignore their flaws. They won't even see that this ugly, disgusted fat person. They'll ignore that and zoom in on you. You know what I'm saying? So it will like improve their self-esteem in a way, make them feel good about each other. You know what I'm saying? It's like all eyes locked in on you. You know what I mean? To make you feel humiliated, make everybody else feel good, and make you feel humiliated, make you feel down. You know what I'm saying? Anytime they see that you're in a high vibrational state, or you're energetic, you're happy, you're excited, things like that. Why is it that everybody's in a bad mood? You know what I'm saying? Everybody in a bad mood. Everybody try to do things to get on your nerves. Just all the little type of stuff to get on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? And when you are in not such of a good mood, everybody's happy. Why is that? Everybody happy, laughing. You know what I'm saying? Boom, boom, boom. But everybody is just playing dumb. You know what I'm saying? None of the conversation is really intellectual. It's just redundant. Why is that? You know what I'm saying? It's almost like they're trying to push you into a low vibrational state, keep you at a low vibrational state. You know what I mean? It's like you've been in this scripted reality. That's how it just feels. It's like a game. You know what I mean? It's like what let's see what we can get him to do before he passes. It's like a life scripted game. What all can we see what we could do? You know what I'm saying? Can we turn him out? Can we turn him into a vessel of wrath? You know what I'm saying? Turn him into some type of just mass murderer? Can we turn him suicidal? Can we make him low vibrational like us? Can we get him to quit his job? Can we get him to be homeless? You know what I mean? Can we get him to be in the dark arts, practicing the witchcraft? Can we get him, you know what I'm saying, as a do boy in our religious system? You know what I mean? Can we get him to switch up his belief? You know what I mean? Can we convert him to a Muslim? Can we convert him to a different belief system? It's like, what can we do? You know what I'm saying? Can we try to get him to try to join the army? Like, what can we do? Can we get him to try to be in conflict with somebody? Can we get him to fight somebody? You know what I'm saying? Can we get him to be in artificial competition with people? You know what I'm saying? Can we distract him enough or take away his purpose, his God-given purpose, and get him focused on just trying to impress us? You know what I'm saying? Can we get that? You know what I'm saying? That's the game. All these distractions, you know what I mean, to prevent you from fulfilling your God-given purpose. You get what I'm saying? What is that? And that's what I'm in. Whatever that is, that's what I'm in. That's what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? And that's a continual thing every single day. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when you're going through stuff like that, it's hard for you to connect with people that you feel are artificial. Now, when you have genuine experiences and stuff, you connect like that, but people tend to switch up, and that's natural and that's okay. But it's just like when you're going through this every day and you finally got in your comfort zone, you just be wanting to chill out. You be wanting to handle business, do what you need to do. You just be wanting to just chill out, relax. You know what I'm saying? Things don't even really entertain you like it used to. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, you don't want to be locked up. You don't want to react in the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put yourself in a bad situation that you can't get out of. You want to make sure you're doing things the right way. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like going through this, you got to know how to move. You got to know how to navigate. You got to have the discernment to know who to deal with. What, you know what I mean? Are the people bringing you down? Or are they helping you up? And if you're around people that's bringing you down, you need to get away from that. That's a huge red flag, especially in this program. especially with all this concentrated force that's going against you like this. You know what I'm saying? Everyday people playing with your livelihood. What is that? That's the question, family. Peace.